There is terrible disappointment and anguish in this particular photo of PV Sindhu because Sudirman Cup, India are eliminated after losing 0-5 to Malaysia and 1-4 to Chinese Taipei. In effect, when their groups were decided in the Sudirman Cup, India's fate was sealed because this group was the group of death. Malaysia and Chinese Taipei, two of the strongest badminton superpowers in Asia, and India in one group. It was really an uphill task to expect something in the Sudirman Cup, one of the tournaments that India has never had success with. But the elimination in the Sudirman Cup came 1 year exactly after this epic success. Remember, India had never done well in the Thomas and Uber Cup as well. But India managed to win the Thomas Cup in the most spectacular of fashion. But 1 year later, you're confronted with this. PV Sindhu and the entire Indian team contingent have been decimated at the Sudirman Cup. 0-5 to Malaysia, 1-4 to Chinese Taipei. What explains India's sudden dip in form, considering that you're going to prepare for the Asian Games in September, October? And on top of that, this year is a vital year for Olympic preparation also for Paris. Why has the Indian badminton team stumbled? In this video, I will give you the key factors as to why Indian badminton, that was on a high, heading into the Sudirman Cup, suddenly had a disastrous outing. Was it a blip? Was it consistency issues? Or is it the beginning of a worrisome trend in Indian badminton? So in the group of death, India lost 1-4 and 0-5 to Chinese Taipei and Malaysia. That one win came in the women's doubles encounters that Trisa Jolly and Gayatri Gopichand had played. That was the one win. But Sindhu, unfortunately, when she had to play against Chinese Taipei, it came up against Tai Zuying, one of the best players in the world currently. Sindhu against left-handers, it's always been a very worrisome record, and in the Sudirman Cup, it was only prolonged. Her loss was the 7th consecutive time that she had suffered against Tai Zuying, and her overall head-to-head now stands at 5 wins to 17 losses to Tai Zuying. But the loss against Malaysia was really surprising because against Go Jinwei, Sindhu had not lost. Even in the Commonwealth Games, she had not lost to her. But here, for the first time in 5 encounters, she lost to Go Jinwei. And when Sindhu lost, that was when the writing was clear on the wall. You could not afford to win any of the remaining games because the rest of the disciplines were unfortunately playing catch up. One discipline in particular has always been India's weakness. So because of this elimination, what has happened? India's quest for the Sudirman Cup medal extends to another 2 years. Their best performances were in 2011 and 2017 when they reached the quarterfinals. But on both instances, they were hammered by heavyweights China. And it's because of this now, with China, Chinese Taipei, Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand all wanting to come up, India's chances of a medal in the Asiad as well as in the Olympics now is in a big problem. So what are the key factors behind the loss? Compare this Sudirman Cup to the Thomas Cup. Before the Thomas Cup, the likes of H.S. Pranoy, Kidambi Shrikant, Satvik Sairaj Rankireddy and Chirag Shetty, they were all in great form, and that form helped them overcome the odds in the Thomas Cup. However, here also, if you look at the Sudirman Cup build-up, it was far from ideal because Lakshya Sen had a dip in form. Lakshya Sen's loss of form saw him not play in any of the games because he's now slipped out of the top 20 as well. Kidambi Shrikant was very inconsistent because in one of the games, his unforced errors ensured that India had to play catch-up and India lost that game to Chinese Taipei. Mixed doubles. There was no settled combination at all. And because of the lack of consistency in the mixed doubles, India were always heading 0-1 down heading into the competition because mixed doubles has always been India's problem. But it was the losses that Sindhu, Satvik Sairaj Rankireddy and Chirag Shetty had that dealt the absolute hammer blow to India's chances. As I had pointed out, She lost to Go Jinwei for the first time, PV Sindhu. Her lean run continued against Tai Ying. But Satvik Sairaj Rankireddy and Chirag Shetty losing both their games was a shock. Because if you look at the past 1 year, even after the Thomas Cup, breaking into the top 10, winning the World Championships and also ensuring that they won the Asian Badminton Championships also, made Satvik Sairaj Rankireddy and Chirag Shetty the hot prospects to win in Suzhou. But they lost both games. And the most worrying part of it, during the game against Malaysia, they lost to Aaron Chia and Su Yik for the 8th consecutive time. Somehow, you encounter opponents who you have a mental block against. In the case of Sindhu, it is Tai Ying. Here, it was the Aaron Chia and Su Yik duo that ensured Satvik Sairaj Rankireddy and Chirag Shetty, they stumbled. Mental blocks, both tough opponents coming together, and India were doomed. If you looked at all the 10 matches, only 2 games went into the decider. One, Pranoy took it, and also Sindhu. She played the game of her life against Tai Ying because she managed to ensure that she held her own, but at the same time, she just could not get going, and that is the reason why she lost. Pranoy, on the other hand, he also struggled, but he at least took the fight. No fight consistency from any of the other disciplines. This is what happened. Because Sindhu and Satvik Sairaj Rankireddy lost, combined with the men's singles inconsistency, mixed doubles, you had no chance. Even women's doubles, there was a bit of inconsistency there as well. When was the last time India got whitewashed 0-5? Malaysia, it had happened, but the last time was against China. And this is the problem. You lost 9 out of 10 games, and that too in Asian Games and Olympic year preparation. This is not good at all. So, after the Sudirman Cup, there are major questions now. After PV Sindhu's injury, her form is a big question. Satvik Sairaj Rankireddy and Chirag Shetty, you can excuse them for this Sudirman Cup because whenever they played, it was in dead rubber encounters. But still, they lost. And that is a major concern because they were in red hot form for 1 year. Now suddenly if they start to taper off, India's prospects take an even bigger hit. Lot of work for Paris Olympics. It's now certain with China, Chinese Taipei, Malaysia, Indonesia and with Denmark also holding their own, India's chances of a medal now are really, it's like climbing Mount Everest now. All the 6 nations that I have mentioned, they are doing a great job. The Sudirman Cup is just one proof of it. Consistency required from all other disciplines. Men's singles, women's doubles and also men's doubles. These 4 out of the 5 disciplines, they need to be consistent. What gave India the Commonwealth Games gold medal? It was the men's, women's and mixed and also the doubles results from men and women. That ensured that they were in contention for a medal. But in the Asian Games, it is not going to be easy because the likes of Malaysia, Indonesia, China and all, and even Chinese Taipei, they are going to participate in it. So big question marks for India's badminton heading into the next 3 to 4 months. Remember, the Asian Games will happen from September to October, July 2024 potentially, or June 2024, you'll see the Paris Olympics. Sudirman Cup is just one small indicator of the work that Indian badminton needs to do at this point in time. Thank you so much folks for joining us for this video. We'll be back with more updates on sports today. Tap that bell icon so you know when we go live, and don't forget we are on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram as well. Thank you.